Okay, so if you were to believe the headline of this article by Voice of America on ChinaNews.net, Communist China, aka the Red Dragon, wants to unify with Taiwan? Yeah, that's like Hitler wanting to unify with the Jewish community. The Red Dragon continues to throw out bait as if that little fish, Free Formosa, hasn't seen that shiny object before. The Red Dragon is determined to haul the Democratic Republic of Taiwan kicking and screaming into their den of death so they can devour their juicy prey in the dark. Do not be fooled by the words of the Red Dragon. This is just another mahjong move by the Communist Chinese to position itself for the upcoming invasion, as reported in, of all places, Popular Mechanics. Yes, China has secret plans to invade Taiwan by 2020, and that plan has been in place for years and is well underway phase by phase. As Voice of America outlines, those sneaky little commies are, well, really sneaky. Last year, they got airlines to start rebranding Taiwan as a subset of the totalitarian communist state. Flight magazines and menus would have you believe the Red Dragon is already in control of poor little Taiwan by calling it China Taiwan. So now the Red Dragon is stealing a page from the corporate merger handbook: acquire a company, add your name to their name, and then phase the old organization out. Now that the airlines are towing the line, the Red Dragon is turning up the heat on 66, or is that 666, multinational companies to use the same China-Taiwan branding as well. Drip, 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 or should we say rip, rip, rip. The Red Dragon is shredding Taiwan and getting ready to swallow it whole. As an aside, is it just a coincidence that the Democrats here in the United States use a quote-unquote negotiation strategy remarkably like the Red Dragon? Declare war, force your adversary to agree to everything you want, or threaten them with destruction. Take it or leave it. Thanks to the military technology transfers that started during the Clinton administration, the Red Dragon now has shiny new war toys. Like aircraft carriers, they like to sail around Taiwan as a glimpse of coming attractions. Meanwhile, while the peaceful Taiwanese carry on, the Red Dragon just soldiers on. In its 2018 Blue Book on the Cyber Rule of Law, companies like Apple, Nike, and Siemens are threatened with penalties if they don't accept the China-Taiwan branding. Comply or lose market share. So compliance is a foregone conclusion. The only glimmer of hope is the Trump administration. With the art of the deal in play, the United States government is leaning hard on Communist China on trade, exposing weaknesses in the Red Dragon's armor. Is it any surprise that every time the Red Dragon spews flames, the Taiwanese people become less likely to agree to unification? Or should that be submission? You know, like uniting with Islam. And again, the Red Dragon sets the example for the Democrats in America, as they both rely upon hatred and name-calling to bolster their own ranks and demoralize their enemies. Another strategy is to lead people to believe they may be willing to compromise as long as the opposition caves first. But that ploy has become cliché to the point of absurdity. No promises made will be kept. Period. Back to that quote-unquote secret plan for the Red Dragon to be ready to invade Taiwan by 2020. The existence of the plan does not mean that an invasion of the island republic is imminent. It does mean, though, that this strategy is very much on the mind of China's Communist Party leadership, and the only question is, can China's generals pull it off? Well, again, with what President Trump has done to bolster American forces, to fully finance the military, to enable the American military to regain the ground that they lost under the previous administrations, that question about the ability of China's generals to pull this off grows greater and greater on a daily basis. And as reported in prior broadcasts, isn't it amazing how similar the aircraft on this Red Dragon aircraft carrier look to American airplanes? Right, Bill Clinton? Right, Hillary Clinton? That 2020 invasion plan is very specific, goes into detail about pre-invasion bombardments, the amount of time it would take in order to soften up their target, and then overwhelm Formosa, Taiwan, by launching hundreds of ballistic missiles and preparing then for an invasion force and attack by up to 400,000 PLA, the People's Liberation Army. Once again, their branding is spectacular. With the only barrier between the Red Dragon and free Taiwan is a 90-mile stretch of water between the two landmasses. This kind of an invasion is not that difficult for a modern navy to pull off. But China's navy and other military forces are not well prepared for this kind of action. And considering the number of soldiers that the Chinese lost during the Korean War, compared to going up against a fully funded Taiwanese force that would repel them, with the might of the United States thrown in along and with it, makes this plan quite a gamble in order to achieve. This is a tricky wicket for the Chinese leadership. If the United States forces do commit to supporting Taiwan if the Red Dragon were to invade, what is the probability or possibility that the Chinese would prevail? I would think most military planners would put it in the very low scale of probability. But, as Chris Chappell with China Uncensored states, it's truly not out of the realm of possibility for the Red Dragon to try to pull this off.
Taiwan, the Chinese island province known for its bubble tea, stinky tofu, and not actually being a province of China. Unless you ask the Communist Party. Technically, these two countries have been at war for 66 years. China considers Taiwan to be just a renegade province.
Kind of like the Philippines.
Sure, Taiwan has its own government, currency, and foreign policy, but it never officially declared itself to be an independent country. Because if it did, well, the Chinese Communist Party has said it would take Taiwan by force.